Rest in peace to the late great GOAT Tupac Shakur. Similar to Muhammad Ali, the things that classify him as a GOAT, it had a lot less to do with what he did in the ring than what he did outside the ring. Tupac GOATness has a lot more to do with what he did outside the booth than inside the booth. And coming up in my generation, this one particular incident was like, just knowing that this was true about Tupac, it's like a lot of people respected and revered him based on the fact we knew that he had a shootout with police and he beat the case. Now, they was off-duty police, so it's not like he went to bust it out, shoot it out with the uniform. But, the story I recall is he saw a black individual being mishandled by some white men, and just that developed so much indignation in him, he got involved with helping the stranger, and it turned out to be off-duty police. But I ran across this, and this is the real story behind it. Just curious to see if this is what I know or if I had it wrong. So with no further ado, we finna see what they say Tupac had been up to.
It's the night before Halloween. Tupac is in Georgia performing at Clark Atlanta University's homecoming when his show is stopped abruptly because he was smoking that broccoli. So, he and his crew left in about 7 cars, headed to the after party at his hotel room at the Sheraton. Not too far from where Tupac and his crew is at, meet Kendall Hunter, who was also out that night on the road heading to a party. Realizing he was going the wrong way, so he pulls over to a side driveway to turn around. Before he could back up, he stopped by 3 angry pedestrians walking, 2 men and a female, who clearly are upset. Kendall could immediately tell the group was heavily intoxicated. They started screaming at him that he needs to learn how to drive, and one of the men walked up to his window, and a surprised Kendall rolls it down. The man screams, "F you," so Kendall replied back, "F you too," and rolled his window back up. As he continues to back out the driveway, the irate man starts following his car, getting behind it, shouting curse words and slurs. And he is now backed out in the middle of the road. When the man starts hitting his driver window, Kendall's now had enough, gets out of his vehicle. The angry man then swings.
Same police shoot a black man down dead and say they fear for their life. Same ones.
And hits him. It turns into a full-on fight. As they both trade in some punches, the other guy decides to jump in. Kendall's trying his best to fend them both off. And this is all happening while blocking the flow of traffic in the middle of the street, with onlookers seeing 2 white men beating up on a black guy. And things got worse when one of the men pulls out a gun and points it right at him. He is shocked and scared at the same time, fearing for his life. More cars are starting to pile on the road, causing traffic. All of a sudden,
what they was finna do, pulled them burners out. They off-duty police. They was finna come with a fake story, say he did a crime or something. He was finna be in big trouble. That's crazy.
From a shadowy figure in a row of cars, they hear a voice of a man yell, "Yo, what are y'all doing? Leave him alone." The man,
"Cuz that's hard. That's rest in peace, Tupac. Just the way this starting right here, that's hard, my nigga. Hey, what y'all doing, my peoples? You got to get back like that, y'all."
And fighting yells back slurs and tells the man to go away and mind his business. But the bystander doesn't, and instead starts to approach them. Unknown to everyone is Tupac, who tells them again, "Leave him alone." With the 2 men distracted, Kendall breaks away, hops in his car, and speeds off. The man with the gun now walks right up to Tupac, tells him to run away. Tupac lifts his shirt, revealing his Thug Life tattoo, and says, "This is Thug Life. We don't run nowhere." And by everyone's surprise, the man gets closer and points the gun, now at Tupac. And quickly, he takes the butt of his gun and shatters the window of Tupac's car.
What he do that for? He finna f around and find out. You found the right one or the wrong one.
Then, immediately after, runs away. As both men now are trying to flee the scene, Tupac yells to his cousins, "Hand me my gun." Surprised and confused, they all decided to ignore him. Realizing no one wanted to hand it over, he takes it upon himself, walks around the car, grabs his gun, then tells everyone to get down. The two men now are almost 40 yards down the street. In the pitch black dark, Tupac gets down on one knee, takes aim, and fires 3.
That's deep. That's deep, and he still beat it. Damn, that's deep.
Shots, leaving everyone shocked. Takes his hoodie off and sets the gun on the ground. His cousin William approaches him, picks the gun up, and says, "You had to have missed." Pac replied, "Nah, I shot the motherfuckers." Everyone is astonished with what they just witnessed. And like nothing just happened, Tupac hops back in his car and tells his crew it's time to go. And everyone else hops back into their vehicles, quickly headed to the hotel. Once arriving, his cousin William steps aside to take the gun and hides it in a fire extinguisher cabinet on a random floor in the stairway. Now inside the hotel room, everyone is hyped with what Tupac did. Can't believe what they just witnessed, how he basically saved a random black guy who was being attacked. Some of them noticed, though, how Tupac is very calm and stoic. His cousin William is surprised to see how regular
Real life superhero. Oh, my mama. I wonder we need to talk to the dude that was getting harassed by the police. Is he still alive? Can we interview him? Where you at, bro? Speak up.
Tupac seems, considering what just happened. And he gets up, tells everyone to quiet down. He has a new song he would like everyone to listen to. Puts in a tape, and for the first time ever, playing from the speaker is his new unreleased song, Dear Mama. And the room is now quiet, with everyone vibing to the song. You can now see the cop lights shining through the windows. And soon after, as expected, cops come knocking.
Remind me of that scene when Muhammad Ali was finna go fight. Was it Foreman? Or was it Frazier? I think it was Foreman. And they was in that room with all his people, and it was somber. And he was like, "Why everybody all down? We gonna dance tonight." Different, but just because we was comparing the two, I guess this reminds me of that.
Knocking at the door and questions what took place. They also confirmed the two men were shot, one in the butt and the other in his lower back through the hip. But the most surprising detail was that they were two off-duty cops.
And they was misbehaving. Had they not been two off-duty cops misbehaving, Pac would have been in a lot of trouble.
Tupac, without any hesitation, steps up, tells them he did it, immediately gets taken away in handcuffs, and eventually booked at the Atlanta police station. The next morning, all major news publications reported rapper Tupac shot two Atlanta cops. His manager, publicist, mother, Afeni Shakur, soon arrives in Atlanta. Tupac gets bail and bonds out to make his court appearance the same day. Also, the two men who were off-duty cops were there as well, with their wounds and bandages. His case was postponed for a future date. Tupac was surprised to see all the news reporters outside and how he was being portrayed as a violent criminal vigilante just shooting cops. But to show how he felt is when he did the infamous strut out of the courtroom. And outside the courtroom, he spoke his frustrations to the news reporters and how they are only around when it's surrounded by a negative story. And unfortunately, this whole case placed an even bigger target on his back by law enforcement, who already didn't like what he represented or his lineage of his family. He books a flight back to New York to continue filming his role in the movie Above the Rim. As far as the case went, months from their first court appearance, now at their final court appearance,
he lived a real Scarface life, a little more expanded, because that roller coaster Scarface went on, from understanding, to less than a year. Nobody knew he was from the past, but look how high impact and packed with episodes and big moves his life was for the last few years. Sheesh.
For the charges is when it's discovered.
Good and bad.
The two off-duty cops stole the gun used that night from an evidence locker at their station, so it was illegally in their possession. Coupled with witnesses like the victim himself, Kendall, who testified against the cops, pointing out them as the aggressors. All charges were eventually dropped, leaving Tupac a free man. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on our.
Man, where Kendall at, man? Kendall, I'd love to hear you speak, man. If anybody could give me an update on Kendall, man. Do anybody know what happened to Kendall? Put it in the chat, man. Rest in peace, Tupac. Shout out Kendall. Police on my mama.
Get you some money, you're gonna feel different.
Straight up.
You might even, all that other advice I could have gave you, this is the short version. You know, get you a couple dollars, man. You gonna feel different.
Wasn't that personal? Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.